in Florida is dead at the hands of his own mother, according to investigators there. Rhonda Paulus' niece said she tried to exorcise demons out of her son's body because God told her to. His body remained in the house for 12 days. He was dead. She is now charged with murder. Our next guest breaks down the timeline for this horrible tragedy. And joining us now to talk about this sad and bizarre story out of Florida from the podcast The Road Beyond, Todd Duplantis, also former Fox reporter. Todd, just mind-blowing that this mother has been charged. Tell us what happened. It's my understanding she performed some type of exorcism on her son.
That's what she was claiming, Isaiah. Thanks for having me, by the way. This started on Friday for authorities. Authorities had been called out to this woman's home because the young boy, first off, her name is Rhonda Paulus. She's 41 years old in Fort Pierce, Florida. Her son was Ramil is his name. He had been missing from school for 2 weeks. He's 6 years old. So school authorities called police. Apparently she'd been having some erratic behavior on social media. She was acting weird, according to her friends and sources. So people were concerned about it there. They went to do a welfare check at the home. They found the young man, the boy, literally on a bed in the home. He was wrapped in some type of gauze with his face exposed. She admitted to police that she thought he was possessed by the devil. And she told him that the new information I'm getting on this today is she told him that apparently his death was caused by her. She said he was acting weird. She feared he was being possessed by demons. And she said she was not in control of her vessel, which meant her body, and that God or her father was controlling her actions. And she believed she was controlled by a spirit or an enemy. So there was something going on, obviously very strange with this case. The woman, in her eyes, believed that she was doing something to free her child from being possessed with a demon. But you know, Isaiah, cases like this, unfortunately, are not uncommon. We've covered this on the Road Beyond podcast before. But what this really reminded me of was a case I covered in the summer of 2001 when I worked for you guys. If you remember the case of Andrea Yates.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the woman in the Clear Lake area who literally drowned 5 of her own children in the bathtub of their home. Now, her claims to police at the time is she said that she was trying to save her children from eternal damnation by drowning them. In the case of Paulus in Florida, she believed she was told that God told her to exorcise demons from her 6-year-old son. Much different cases, but similar in some ways with the aspect of mental health and awareness.
And Todd, what we heard from Wanda in Florida, the mother in this case, is that after her son died, she was waiting on him to come back to life, to be resurrected, because she thought now that the demons are gone, that he would be fine.
She thought that the demons were gone, and she thought in her mind, she was thinking that. In fact, when police.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that ain't gonna lie, bro. That's a tough one.
Oh, that shit sad, bro.
You on mute, Rock.
All right, so this just recently happened. A black woman out of Florida. Sad story, man. Sad story. They found out her child was dead. They did a welfare check. Come to find out the child been dead for 2 weeks. So yeah, man, it's a lot to unpack, man. And so, man, quality. What do you think about the story? I mean, what do you think, man?
This is really tough because what the mother says is that she was possessed and that she was trying to like she said.
She didn't say she was possessed. She
said
something told her.
How?
The kids was possessed.
He said the kid was possessed. She didn't say she was possessed.
She was trying to get that possession out the kid.
She said the kid was possessed, And so she attempted to perform an exorcism on the kid.
Yes.
And whatever happened within that exorcism, the child died.
Okay, how did the child, was it suffocation?
We don't know
I
yet.
heard that.
They didn't
We
say.
don't know yet.
They didn't say? Okay.
But the topic is not so much about that. The topic is about exorcism and its connection to religion and just faith, God, all that. I'm talking more of a spiritual conversation, right? So and hey, whatever your beliefs is, it's cool, it's whatever. But I want to tap into each of our brain and just give us our thoughts in general. You know what I mean? What do you think about this exorcism? Do you know anything about it?
I don't have no personal nothing experience with none of that type stuff. But my mindset is that I'm a very strong individual, especially in my mind. I may not be as strong physically as my mind is, so that's just me. So when it comes to things of that nature, like believing in it, it's a little hard for me to believe it. But I know and I don't want to sound cocky when I say this, but I know there are people that are probably not as strong-minded as I am. So in their opinion or their way of seeing it, they probably could have thought that.
I ask you for yours. Fuck them out there. We man, fuck speakerphone, my man.
It's mine. I just don't. I'm too strong to believe in something like that.
So let me, and I ain't gonna lie. I'm a pick, right? I'm a pick. I'm a throw darts.
Yeah.
So my question now is, and this is a general question. You can answer it from a personal perspective or from a general standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, why is it so many religious people we acknowledge, we believe, and even use these examples and stories as proofs of faith and in defense of our religion? Why is it that we hold these truths and we look at those things as acts of God, powers, God's work, things like that, but then when it plays out in real time, it's a mental health problem. They crazy, they nuts, they loose screws, they evil, they demons. I question that sometimes. I mean, we got a man, we got Jesus allegedly knew he was gonna die, purposely went on a mission to die and get home and had the power not to let motherfuckers kill him, then died in the flesh, got up in 3 days and said, okay, my point proven. Let me go back to the Father. My job is done. But then when something like this happens, we don't connect it at all to religion.
Okay, so now it really get deep now, because now you really finna tap into mine. I'm going with my personal. See, here, I always felt like this, and I know this is gonna be very controversial when I say it, but the Bible was written by a man, which means when I'm gonna say it this way: when we tell a story, I might tell the story the sky was blue. I tell it to you. You now tell the story to Rich, and you tell Rich the sky was red. Okay, now Rich tells the story to Yogi. Now the Yogi get it. The sky was black. So you see what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have their own version of what they was said in that situation.
Tell us how you feel.
So the Bible, to me, when you put it in that perspective, it's a man-written book. It's a man-written book.
Tell me how you feel.
I feel like it ain't possible. I think there is no one that told you to do that. I think. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. I think it's just that that's just what they did. They did something that was terrible. Maybe that's an excuse that they may be using to justify what they did.
Because I'm gonna go to Yogi next.
Okay.
So Yogi, let me ask you a question, Yogi.
Yo.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Why not? Just ask it. I'm not saying I do or don't.
Personally, I say I don't believe it because I've never seen it myself personally. I'm saying I do believe in like my bad.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't believe like personally. I haven't seen like ghosts like walking around and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I
So
have
let me
heard
ask you
stories.
this.
Go
So let
ahead.
me ask you this. Do you believe in God?
I believe in God. Yes, sir.
Okay, so how can you believe in God and not believe in ghosts?
I ain't saying I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. It's probably the same thing. I don't know, but I believe in spirits. I believe you got spirits walking the earth. You know what I'm
Ghost
saying?
spirits. Ghost is just another word for
Oh
spirits.
well, yeah. Then I believe in ghosts.
Because I always wondered that I've seen people, and I'm not saying you if that's not what you think, but I'd be like, you believe in God? And they be like, hell no. And then I'd be like, you believe in God? And they be like, yeah. I'd be like, how can you believe in God and not believe in God?
But like me, my
I
thing
think
personally is this, bro. I not in no spooky paranormal form, but
yeah.
I believe.
I'm not trying to form what a ghost is. I'm saying
Yeah,
just
I
I'm
know.
think that's
saying.
the problem right
Nah,
there. Okay.
I'm saying what I'm
Yeah,
saying
we
is
don't.
this, bro.
I'm not trying to put it in a frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we
No,
looking at it. Ghost
yeah,
mean like some type
that's
of
a whole
evil
nother
Like
beast or
conversation.
like
something.
Yeah.
Casper, Boozy,
Yeah,
nigga.
well,
Like
yeah, I
No,
that's
believe
it.
in
now
that.
don't go there. Don't go there, right?
Yeah,
Because I ain't even trying to put God in a frame. Just God, believing in God or believing in ghosts, no
yeah,
frame.
yeah. I
Okay.
believe, man, you got people walking around, man, that be on some demonic shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like the special stuff going on nowadays, man, some of this shit be so off,
Yeah.
man. Like I believe spirits can roam in people. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Okay. Rich. Let me
Yes,
ask you
sir.
this.
Come
Let me
on.
ask you this. How do you feel about well fuck it, I'm gonna ask the question because this is the big question. Do you think, and just answer the question first because I'm a backdoor you with a question.
Okay.
Do you think religion has helped black people more than hurt black people, or hurt black people more than help black people?
Hurt.
And why?
That's the second question. And why?
Yeah.
And why?
And why? Yeah.
Because anytime you get misinformation, it's gonna hurt you. If I didn't teach you how to read and I give you a book and say read, how you know what you read? How you even know the question where what you reading came from? So I believe that religion was started on misinformation to lead the people wrong. And I think just the deception of it, the idea of it, and how it was presented, and how we hold it so dear to heart, I know is more, yes, because you got some people like you say, they'll believe so much that the devil telling them to kill a child that they'll do it. And hey, they read in the Bible what Abraham was gonna take his son and kill him. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
So let me
you
ask you
can't.
this, right? Let me ask
Yeah.
you this.
Mhm.
Because this is getting deep. Because so how can I say this?
That's it.
Oh man. So there was a kid that killed his parent
Hmm.
because they wouldn't let him go to a party or something.
Okay.
This a real story?
Yeah, real story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so when I hear that, it's hard for me to not think that child is some kind of way, and I'll just say it for lack of better words, spiritually infested, right?
Hmm.
And here's what I would consider proof to my theory, right? Because I can't prove it. You back in the days when shame was real, I would watch a married couple would look at their kids and they'll tell each other, Little Junior, I think that motherfucker got demon in him. We gonna have to he gonna work us. Yeah. And then they'll look at the other kid and be like, he gonna be all right. He gonna be the genius. He gonna be the smart kid. Do you know how accurate that shit be?
Nah, for real.
I mean, wait a second.
They come from you though. Anything come from you, you know, you can get a gauge on it.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that was that woman's child. Right?
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's man, I've seen situations, bro. Man, I've seen situations, man. I've seen situations where people can lose control of themselves, bro. And whoever was ever going on that's making them say what they say or act how they act or do what they do. I've seen it where it's actually really not them, bro. Just because they didn't kill you doesn't mean that same situation didn't exist. You see what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a question? Was she white?
No, she was black.
She was black.
Yeah, she was black. And then think about this movie we just saw. Think about that movie came out a couple of years ago on Netflix. And you got the cops said it, the police station said it, the neighbor said it, the visitors in the home said it, how it was some ghosts in the house. People who didn't even know each other existed said agreed the same shit. They made a movie about this shit.
What's that movie called?
It's like it was. I think paranormal exists, bro.
Now, you know, I could tell you, I think a lot of what's in the Bible is BS, but it's a lot of good stuff in there because, you know, they tell you wrestle not against flesh and blood. I know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, when they tell you stuff like that about
to the white man.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, listen,
you got to think about it. We invented spells and
and all that. Yes,
mysteries. We invented magic. You know, that's our shit. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah,
but that
originally used for good.
Yeah,
you know, and let me tell you this. For example, a lot of people don't know this. Y'all ever wonder why the Vatican is so heavily guarded? Man, bro, listen to me, bro. They have some powerful things.
What?
That was once our Africans people's stuff, bro. That they stole when they colonized Africa. That they got in there, bro. It's a reason why why the smallest city has one of the biggest armies. It's a reason why they get so much protection. They're protecting items in the Vatican, bro, that holds real power, bro, real Matrix power, real Wakanda power. Y'all remember this movie, but it was considered a horror movie, Hellraiser? Pandora's Box? Bro, the Vatican is holding shit, and that I truly think that they're holding that type of shit. Think about this. Look how they fight so hard to discover what they did, and they do discover, and they keep and lock down these ancient artifacts.
That you just see the one who died, he opened that chamber who hadn't been open in 25 years, 50 years or so, 100 years. It was a long time that a part of the Vatican hadn't been open. And he opened it to go in there because they said it was time to open it. After he opened that, he ended up dying. I'm like, what was in there that he went in there to see? And then he died afterwards, you know, because you got to realize the Roman Catholic is the old Rome. They just went to Roman Catholic. They found they found a religion. So all them artifacts, like you say, they stole that shit. They've been had that from the Roman time. They just keeping
the movie Indiana Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bro, that movie was totally based off ancient Kemetic history. The whole movie, even though we saw white faces, they was our representation of original black men. in their discoveries, and they basically was interpreting comedic studies, bro. Yeah, that shit deep. So now here's the dilemma. Andrea Yates, she killed 4 of her children.
Drove in the water.
And her excuse was she was trying to prevent them from eternal damnation. Do y'all know that woman was found not guilty?
Yes.
No, yeah, she made it.
And right now she's in one of the most loosest facilities, and she basically free. She can leave the facility. She has to come back. She's confined to it. They moved in 2007.
They say she was crazy.
Now,
you think the same fate gonna happen to this lady?
But let's go deeper. Why is it? Let me ask you a question, right?
Why?
Can I ask the panel a question? I want to ask the panel. I want to ask the panel one question.
Go ahead, Rich.
And I know I'm the wrong person, but I'm gonna say it. Why is it always only women? What are men that have done that to their kids? We're not gonna do that. That we got to go a little deeper now. We ain't gonna just scratch the surface here.
That's a good point.
You know, now I can take you where you need to go now. We can go underground because it's deeper. Let's look at it. Ain't no man doing that. You're not gonna find no man take his kids and do nothing.
And you know what?
All of them women, and I don't know why.
They
I don't know what that is, but they do. Huh?
You don't hear about it like this.
You don't hear about it like this.
It's a dude just killed his baby mama, his kid, and
stop right there. But the kids are casual. Yeah, he going for the baby mama. The kid just a casualty. But he killing the baby mama. I'm talking about I'm gonna go kill my kids. They'll put him in the bathtub and drown their ass.
Now, one of the kids, he tried to kill. He ran, but he ended up getting to a neighbor's house.
Yeah,
he shot him though.
But he was there to kill mama. Yeah, he lost his mind. He been kill mama.
Yeah, it wasn't for no spiritual reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The women, I'm just think about it. They lose it and they'll do it.
And then he meaning the men that like saying they was like,
my kids possessed. I'm gonna kill
them. My kids possessed. Yeah, that kind of way. We ain't seen that.
No, we ain't never seen that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got.
We're gonna figure it out. Thank you, sir. We're gonna figure it out.
Point, right? I know you're ready to move in that. One more. I'm gonna leave it at this here. If a black man or any man, let's go with any man right now, did what these women are doing, would the punishment be harsher?
Woo!
Yeah, because we hold each other accountable. We hold men accountable. So
yes,
That go that magic word again. Y'all heard it? Accountable. Accountable. Okay, all right. Go ahead. Let's go move to this.
All right, that's what's up.